interesting that the Creator doesn't hit us over the head with a big wheat staff in order to get our attention about the reign of God? God just keeps sowing little seeds that can become golden wheat blowing in the field, seeds of compassion, seeds of justice, seeds of indignation at how we divide ourselves rather than embrace differences, seeds of righteous anger and seeds of gradual, difficult forgiveness. This field of the reign of God will be very unlike the rest of the culture. It kind of makes you want to stay shallow. It's easier. Who wants to spend time wondering about what happens after we die? Or why people suffer? Or why we receive grace while others have such difficult trials? It's really easier to just have a latte and go to a good movie and forget all the hard stuff. But the sower sows and sows, and it lands on us. I've had a fairly significant faith struggle lately. I've questioned some of our doctrines, still do, and pat ideas. At times I felt lost, like when I suddenly got depressed after my knee surgery. I didn't even have the energy to want to talk and seek God for relief. Then, after 23 years of ministry, I was, as one person said, a recovering pastor. I couldn't muster the desire to believe or serve. To some extent, nothing mattered. But I've just had to honor that part of my journey. Stand back a little, heal from some of the old wounds and the weariness. I didn't panic because somehow I had enough of a wisp of God in my life, and knowing that God would seek me. So, even if I wasn't cooperating very much, God would still be sowing seeds. I did read daily devotionals online, even when I didn't like them. But the sower sows. And I came to worship. The sower sows. And the sower is phenomenally generous. Lots of seeds, even to us, to me. My sister-in-law absolutely gave herself to me when I had that sudden bout of depression. She didn't preach. She didn't tell me she knew because she had had these problems herself. She didn't tell me to buck up. She made me meals. She did the wash. She planted flowers. She stayed overnight a couple of days. And she let me sleep. And the gray skies began to lighten. And of course, I needed some temporary medication. But the seed of compassion was what kept me going. Generous compassion. Then, as you know, I fell. My bones are strong, but the fall was just too hard. So I broke my hip, same leg. Who came with food and kept me company? Calvary people. Seeds of hope. And who listened when I was struggling with my theology and doctrine? Friends. Pastor Brad. Seeds of patience. The sower sows, even when our soil is dry. I remember early in my seminary's days, I was reminded by a professor that the effectiveness of my sermons didn't depend on me. It was a relief. He said, the Word does what it says. So my sermon can go out there and do things that I don't even know about, because I don't even know the needs of all the people who hear. Or as Isaiah said, the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return there until they have watered the earth, making it bring forth and sprout. The promise is our faith doesn't depend on us. We can resolve in our heart to prepare that soil of our heart so that it can sprout and give, and we'll do that. But when we're choked by materialism or shallow self-absorption, and when our faith is dry or our hope is dimmed in gray skies, we know the sower goes out to sow and sows and sows. The sower is generous, whether or not we're deserving. The sower's grace will bring forth 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. Let anyone who has ears listen.